Alrighty, welcome to this video. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about how to make it so your students can actually see your grades as you grade them. Kind of important, right? So I'm going to head over to grades. In Brightspace, it's kind of weird. It's not set up to where by default they can see their grades. So the first thing you got to do here is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just kind of scroll over and you'll see these little eyes here. And that tells you if they're released or not. So if you don't have this little eye icon, that means the students aren't able to see what they're doing and what their grades are, which is just kind of weird that it's not set up that way by default. But anyways, what you can do is come over here. I'm going to click, and I am on not spreadsheet view, but it doesn't really matter which view you're in. You can be in standard or spreadsheet, but I'm going to click here and I'm going to go to grade all under final calculated grades. Okay, then it's going to show up, and then you have this release and unrelease. So I'm going to click here to check all the students, and then I just click release. But I already had them released, so this unchecked. You just want to make sure that release final adjusted grade or whatever it says right there, all of these are checked. And then you're going to hit save. Now that releases the grades, but they should be able to see some things, but some of them, if you're doing points, they may not be able to see how many points they've gotten out of the total amount of points. So another thing you can do, and another thing you probably should do, is come over here and we're going to click right here. I'm going to say recalculate all. It's going to ask me, okay, what grades do I want to recalculate? Well, I want to include all of the assignments for the whole class. So I'm going to click there and hit calculate. It says you want to overwrite, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to hit yes. So what that'll do is it'll take all of the points that you've put in and it will calculate the grade for them. So when they go to look at their grade, they'll be able to see a percentage grade. Okay, so there's that. Those are the two things. Now the thing is though, when I go in here and I start grading other things, I'm going to have to recalculate that again. So as I go in and add more points, this recalculate that I just did, I'm going to have to do it again. So you might as well, I mean, I don't know, just whenever you change the grades, it's not going to automatically recalculate, which is fun, right? So that's probably one thing you'll want to do, I don't know, a couple times throughout the quarter. Just kind of my guess there. If there's ever issues with students not being able to really see their grades. All right, the last thing I want to show though is I go to your grades where you can kind of save yourself some of this heartache, right? Is I can go to Setup Wizard and I found out that a lot of these issues that we have to do now were kind of self-inflicted. It's just the way I set up the gradebook. So I'm going to show you how I set mine up, and you can follow it and do it as well if you want, but anyway, so I'm going to hit start. Okay, now I do points. I'm sure if you do weighted, the same stuff here will apply. So I got points. Okay, and I'm going to make sure it's an adjusted final grade. That's therefore I can change it, but right here, automatically release final grade. You want to make sure that's checked, and that should make it so you won't have to release it anymore. It'll just automatically be released when you start the class. So I'll hit continue. I choose to drop ungraded, but I'm going to automatically keep the final grade updated for sure. So as I put in more grades and such, it will automatically update that. So you want to make sure that's checked as well. I've been using the percentage organization scheme. Whether that's good or not, I don't know. But that's the one I've been using, and it's been working the way I want it to. So I hit continue. Yeah, the 2 decimal places, that's fine. Okay, now right here, student view display options, you want to make sure all these are checked. Therefore, the students will be able to see everything. They'll be able to see their point grade, they'll be able to see the scheme symbol and the scheme color. But I check all 3 of these so students, when they go to look at their grades, they're able to see everything. Okay, and then I definitely want to display the final grade calculation to users. That's why students can see that as well, so they can see how their final grade is calculated. Okay, so once you've done all that and then you hit finish, that should make your life a little bit easier at the beginning of the semester or the quarter, whatever, when you're setting up your grade book, so you don't have to do all that other stuff. Now, again, this is uncharted territory. You still may have to recalculate the grades, but I'm pretty sure doing it the way I just showed you, you shouldn't have to go into the grades and release them. It should be when you go into the grade book and you scroll over here, you know, these final adjusted grades should all be released. Okay, in a perfect world, right? Anyway, so hope that helps someone out there, but good luck. I'm sure we'll learn more as the quarters progress, but have fun, guys. We'll see you.